ओम नमो भगवते वासुदेवाय। ओम नमो भगवते वासुदेवाय। ओम नमो भगवते वासुदेवाय। Canto 1, Chapter 5, Text 26. तत्रान्वहं कृष्ण कथा प्रगायताम् वहं कृष्ण कथा प्रगायताम् अनुग्रहेणाशरणं मनोहरा अनुग्रहेणाशरणं मनोहरा तश्रद्धया मेनु पदं विस्मृतः तश्रद्धया मेनु पदं विश्ववतः प्रिय श्रवशी अंग ममा भवद्रुचिः प्रिय श्रवशी अंग ममा भवद्रुचिः. Translation and purport by His Divine Grace A.C. Bhaktivedanta Swami Prabhupada, Srila Prabhupada ki jai. O Vyasadeva, in that association and by the mercy of those great Vedantis, I could hear them describe the attractive activities of Lord Krishna. And thus, listening attentively, my taste for hearing of the personality of Godhead increased at every step. Can you read the purport, Prabhu? ओम अज्ञानतिमिरान्धस्य ज्ञानाञ्जनशलाकया चक्षुरुन्मिलितं येन तस्मै श्रीगुरवे नमः. नमो विष्णुपादाय कृष्णप्रेष्ठाय भूतले श्रीमते भक्ति वेदांत स्वामिन्निति नामिने. नमस्ते सरस्वते देवे गौरवाणी प्रचारिणे निर्विशेष शून्यवादी पाश्चात्य देशतारिणे. जय श्री कृष्ण चैतन्य प्रभु नित्यानंद श्री अद्वैता गदाधर श्रीवासादि गौर भक्तवृंद. हरे कृष्णा 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 हरे 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 रामा राम रामा हरे हरे. Hare Krishna. So in this particular verse, we understand the hearing importance of hearing. So Narada Muni, he heard from the Bhakti Vedantas. So in the previous verse, what he said says he was taking the Uchishta of whichever is left over. So he used to take that. And in this verse, it's mentioned he is hearing about Lord Krishna, attractive activities of Lord Krishna from great Vedantis. And in that association, when he was listening attentively, his taste for hearing increased. At every step, the state taste increased, and slowly, what happened? So he could achieve the highest perfectional stage. So this is the glory of even Srimad Bhagavatam. So Srimad Bhagavatam is the ripened fruit of all Vedic literature. So Vyasadeva, so in this complete section of Srimad Bhagavatam, Narada Muni has arrived just to instruct his disciple Vyasadeva what is missing in his literature. He has written so 4 Vedas, then all Vedanta or Upanishads, 108 Upanishads, 18 Puranas, all the things he has written, Ramayana, Mahabharata, everything. But in spite of that, now something is missing. He is feeling that something is missing. It's his what he has written is not complete. So Narada Muni, being his guru, now he's instructing in this particular chapter Narada's instructions on Srimad Bhagavatam. So Srimad Bhagavatam is like the ripened fruit. It's a Vedic literature is considered. It is compared to a tree. Then Srimad Bhagavatam is the ripened fruit. So Nigama Kalpataror Galitam Phalam Sukhamukad Amrata Drava Samyutam Pibata Bhagavatam Rasamalayam Muhuraho Rasika Bhuvi Bhavukaha. So this is Amrita Drava. It's like nectar. And Bhagavatam Rasamalayam. Rasamalayam, that it's like a mango tree, and it's ripened mango when you eat. The purpose of the tree is also fulfilled. We eat the mango. So the Srimad Bhagavatam is such a literature. So Srila Bhakti Siddhanta Saraswati Thakur Maharaj. So he told, even if we lose all the books of the world, if we have Srimad Bhagavatam, that means we have not lost anything. So that is the glory of greatness of Srimad Bhagavatam, because it's non-different from Krishna. It's a literary incarnation of Krishna himself. So Hiranyakashipu, when Varahadev killed Hiranyaksha, so he is speaking the philosophy, exactly similar, like the concept of the soul. And he is telling Diti and his relatives that we should not lament for this body. This body is temporary. And, from Vedic literature, being Asuras, even they knew there are some sections of Vedas how to, get few siddhis by doing some type of tapasya or austerities, how to get those siddhis. Even we see how Ravana, for 10,000 years, he performed great tapasya, and every 1,000 years, he used to cut off his head and one head, and he used to do ahuti. Every 1,000 years, one head. So 9,000 years over, his 9 heads are gone. And 10,000th year, Lord Shiva appears. So these asuras, they know from Vedic literature how to get the different type of siddhis. Now, Hiranyakashipu is speaking the philosophy. Similar, like soul is eternal and body is temporary. There is no need to lament for the body, like that. And he is telling, and he's telling one story. What that story? One, there will be one kingdom where there is queen, and queen's husband dies. So in order to pacify her, Yamaraja, he takes the form of a boy, because when the sadhus come, generally people don't like to hear from them. So he took the form of a boy, and he came to the kingdom, to the near the queen. And he told Yamaraja, in the form of boy, he's telling one story. What is that? Few birds were there, and in the few birds, mother bird and children bird, they are caught in the net, and they are caught in the net of a hunter. And after some time, they are caught. The father bird comes. The father bird comes, and it starts lamenting. Oh, what happened? My wife is stuck, and my children are stuck. Without them, how can I live without my wife and children? So he started lamenting so loudly, the hunter could hear it. Uh, and he came and he captured that bird also. So because of lamentation, Shoka, this bird is also caught by the hunter. So after telling this story to Queen, he is telling there is no point in lamenting for your husband, because soul is eternal. Now you can't do nothing. You can do. You can't do anything about the death of your husband. So lamenting for the inevitable death of his body, you should not you should not do that. But you should try to attain self-realization. We have to understand we are not the body, we are the eternal souls, and our position is we are eternally servant of Krishna. So Jivera Swarupai Krishnera Nityadas. So this story, Hiranyakashipu is speaking to Diti and his relatives, and all got inspired by Hiranyakashipu's words. Then he's having that envious nature towards the Lord. Then what he told, what he's trying to do, he's telling, I will cut off the head of Vishnu and I will drink his blood. That thing is telling. He's speaking philosophy, and then he is telling this. So in our life also, like we are speaking philosophy. If the philosophy is not applied in the practical life, then what is the use of philosophy? Here, Hiranyakashipu is speaking philosophy, some from the Vedas, but he is not practically what he is doing. Practically, is not applying those principles in the his life. So similarly, we have knowledge, we hear from so many classes. We have to leave kama, krodha, lobha. So in the practical life also, we have to, try to uh, give up these tendencies and arthas. So automatically, no, nothing will happen. So there should be some effort. So basically, what is the point I'm trying to tell is, even asuras, they knew from Vedic literature, some siddhis can be got. Asuras were speaking from Vedas, and if Vedas, if we want good husband, good wife, we'll get good wife, good husband. If we want good children, we'll get particular type of children. If we want good health, we'll get good health. So actually, Shaubari Muni, we know, like even one person can become from old age to youth. That process is also mentioned in the Vedas. So Shaubari Muni, we know how he's doing thousands of years of meditation. Inside the water, he is gone without breathing. For thousands of years, he is doing tapasya. But he committed Vaishnava Aparadh to Garuda Dev. Because of that offense, Vishnu withdrew the protective potency. So and that time, what happened? Shaubari Muni, who has done thousands of years of tapasya inside the water, that personality is attracted by simple this fish mating. So generally, human species, they don't get attracted to, if even if they see lower species mating, they don't get that much any disturbance. But Shaubari Muni, such a yogi, he is disturbed by just seeing the fishes mating. So what happens immediately? Sapasya bhanga. So he's coming up. He came up and he went to Mandata, King Mandata, and he's asking, I want to get married to your daughters. So King Mandata is also, he knows if he doesn't agree, he will be cursed. So he is giving the smart answer diplomatically. So if my daughters wish to marry you, then I'm ready. I'll get them married to you. So Mandata, this Shaubari Muni understood. So he went and he was very old and wrinkled because of being in the water. So what he does, he becomes young, and then he comes. When all the daughters see, then they get married to Shobhani. Then after thousands of years, we see how Maya is bewildering. So like this, if one wants to become young from old age, they can become old age. So from Vedas, it's possible. And from Vedas, if we want to go to Swargaloka, there are Apsaras. So that enjoyment, if one wants, that is mentioned in the Vedas. Chandraloka, Brahmaloka, even Shivaloka. That if one wants, he can go. And if one wants particular type of siddhi, anima, lagima, so that siddhi also one can get it. So supernatural activities, just for some popularity, so-called popularity, followers, all those things, and then the followers will worship you as God, just for some simple um, supernatural activities. So if somebody has to worship me, then such siddhis also one can get from Vedas. So actually, from in Vedas, every desire that a Jivatma has to be fulfilled, particular type of rituals or some form of worship and tapasya, it's mentioned. So whether it's a demon or the devatas or even the human beings. So whatever needs that is mentioned. So, but if even mukti, what the jnanis are hankering, that is also there. But what exactly we want? Even if one wants to elevate himself to the Vaikuntha planets, that explanation is also given, how to elevate. And if one wants to go to Goloka Vrindavan Dham, how he has to go, that is there. So, but what exactly, being Jivatmas, what we want? If we want pure devotional service, Shuddha Bhakti, then we will get that from the Vedas. So, basically, from Vedas, that is what we get. So here, Vyasadeva has written so many literatures, but about Shuddha Bhakti, pure devotional service, and Krishna and Krishna's his pure relationships with his devotees, that is not mentioned. So Srimad, that's why he told Narada Muni told Vyasadeva to write this Srimad Bhagavatam. So actually, this Srimad Bhagavatam is the essence of the Veda. It's a unalloyed, uninterrupted, pure devotional service to Lord. That Srimad Bhagavatam gives Dharma Prochita Kaitavatro Paramo Nirvatsaranam Satham. So in the second shloka itself, it tells, what? Nirmatsara. One devotees are always, they are not having any matsarya towards anyone. So they are having karuna bhav. So sometimes we see, observe, or some my other devotees are in difficulty. They are undergoing some temporary turbulences. At that time, we should be compassionate towards those devotees, because we are not having any matsarya. We are trying to help. We are having the karuna bhav. So what Srimad Bhagavatam Srila Vasudev has given, that is the highest literature. Srimad Bhagavatam Amalam Puranam. Even Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, when he came, he told that he personally used to read Srimad Bhagavatam, and practically he has demonstrated how to live with as per Srimad Bhagavatam. So it is Amalam Puranam, purest and spotless Purana. So if we want highest perfection in our life, that we will get through Srimad Bhagavatam. Prema Prumartho Mahan. So in this particular shloka, Narada Muni is telling how he could achieve in the next life. He became Narada Muni. But in his previous life, because of hearing from the Vedantist, that it was possible. So actually, that is the potency of hearing from a pure devotee. That is the key to success. It is a shortcut, you can say. You are hearing from regularly from a pure devotee. So we advance very fast. So we should not think I'm not making any advancement. No, it's a small thing. We have to improve. We should not think, that is very big thing to be improved. I can't do it. So we don't have to, at once we can't take a big leap. Then what we do? We take small steps. So if we take small steps, Krishna takes his steps towards us. We take one step toward Krishna, he takes his 10 steps towards us. So the distance between us and Krishna is reducing day by day. We are coming closer and closer to Krishna. So in the the flow of this, Shaunaka Muni also is requesting from Suta Goswami how Srimad Bhagavatam came. So Vyasdev, why he is written that? What is the inspiration for writing the Srimad Bhagavatam? So that part, when it was asked, like now he is telling Narada Muni is come, and he is giving the back story. Now, backstory of Narada Muni, backstory of Shukadev Goswami, backstory of Parikshit Maharaj. In the first canto, we see all these things. So Srimad Bhagavatam now is a literary incarnation. So if a devotee really wants to know and hear about Srimad Bhagavatam, how much degree we are eager to hear, that much degree Krishna reveals through the sound vibration of Srimad Bhagavatam. Because the sound vibration of Srimad Bhagavatam is non-different from Krishna. So it's a Shabda Brahma. So it's non-different from Krishna. So how much eagerness we have to hear Srimad Bhagavatam, to that degree we get purified. Especially if we are eagerly hearing from a pure devotee, we advance very fast. Why? Because to that degree, Krishna purifies us through that sound vibration. So that is the reason if we want to know about the truth, what is the real truth, absolute truth, then we have to be very serious. This inclination to hear, we have to increase our initiatives, our self motivate ourselves. What do you call? We are taking so much trouble in the morning. Especially if we have conditionings, we have to get up early in the morning. So whatever time, 4, 5, or whatever. Then we are doing Mangal Aarti, Narsimha Aarti, Tulsi Aarti. Then after all that, sometimes devotees are tired there only, if they don't have proper sleep and all. Then sitting in the Srimad Bhagavatam is like, big austerity. It's, but one Maharaj told, Sunday feast program, what happens, many of the devotees come for prasad just to skip Bhagavatam class. But that should not be the attitude, because real mood of a devotee is he's coming for Sunday feast in class or in the association of devotees to hear about Srimad Bhagavatam. Whether prasad is there or Dhanna prasad is there, he is not bothered. The real prasad is the mercy is coming from Krishna through the sound vibration of Srimad Bhagavatam. So that Maharaj was telling, Bodhayanta Parasparam, Srimad Bhagavatam. Real association, we should have developed so much eagerness and that hankering to hear about Srimad Bhagavatam. We have to develop that desire. One time what happened, Srila Prabhupada has come some temple, and these devotees, they have prepared everything for so that they can accommodate all devotees and all the things. And a pure devotee has come all the way, is traveling. And it's very rare, no? They like hardly in entire span of Srila Prabhupada's that leela of establishing the movement. Maybe hardly some temple may get 1 or 2 times Prabhupada might be coming, and he's coming. He's arriving, and sometimes he gives arrival lecture, and Srimad Bhagavatam. He's coming, pure devotee is coming and giving Srimad Bhagavatam. And what used to happen? Devotees used to sleep in the class. So when Maharaj was telling, Prabhupada has come, maybe 1 or 2 chance you get to hear directly from Srila Prabhupada, and these devotees are sleeping. It's such a rare opportunity. Pure devotee who is a Jagat Guru is coming and is giving Srimad Bhagavatam class, and these devotees, after arranging everything, they are sleeping. So that Maharaj was telling, it's very difficult, sometimes to control the sleep, and but he was telling that we have to develop such a desire to hear about Srimad Bhagavatam. And that is the key for success. That is what Narada Muni is telling here. Krishna Kate, that Krishna Katha, that hearing Krishna Katha, or doing seva, or chanting in the morning, that desire we have to develop. We have so many conditionings, and it is understood, and it is sometimes natural. We are, because of our conditionings also, we are struggling, right? We are struggling. As a sadhaka, it's a struggle for us. But when we develop the desire, then Maya can't do anything. When we have tivra icha for doing seva, Maya can't do anything. If we are losing some money, if we are losing some house, we are losing, my car has to be sold. So many things. It's not a big loss. But the hearing Srimad Bhagavatam, that desire, if Maya takes away, then our spiritual life is hampered there. You know why? Because Shravanam Kirtanam it's like a food. If the soul is not hearing or chanting properly, then he will be slowly losing the taste of Srimad Bhagavatam. And that is what Maya also tries to do. So it tries to take away the desire to hear Srimad Bhagavatam, desire to chant from us. That is where it attacks. So our faith gets disturbed sometimes. So that's why this strong desire we have to, you know, have regarding hearing the Srimad Bhagavatam. Krishna Mora Pranadana. So even in the material world, we see if we don't work hard for maintaining anything, or if we don't work hard to increase our or achieve something, to go up, then the natural tendency of the world is we naturally come down. For example, athlete is there. He has to prepare for Olympics or whatever. Every day he has to run. If he doesn't run for even 1 week or say 2 weeks, then what happens? He can't expect to win, right? Every day he has to run. So in the similar way, doctor also, if doctor doesn't associate with other doctors, if they don't, and then they are not reading the latest books, then after some time they forget and they become outdated. If they don't practice for some time, that is, they are like, they lose the touch, because that is the nature of the world. So if you don't practice to do the hard work to maintain something or to increase something, so natural tendencies that will be lost in over the period of time. In the same way here, say spiritual life also, we, in order to maintain our consciousness, in our Krishna consciousness, or to go up, increase our absorption, we have to put effort under some guidance of a senior devotee or spiritual master, shiksha guru. So this is very, very important. Sometimes devotees are thinking, I have been in the movement for 5 years, 10 years, 15 years or 20 years. I don't have to go for Srimad Bhagavatam class, because I have heard this so many times. I've heard uh, this Narada Muni story. I've heard this so many. In 20 years, maybe some 15 times, or sometimes even maybe 100 times. I've heard this. So what is, I don't have to go for Srimad Bhagavatam class. I've become advanced. That, if we neglect, that is where the Maya hits. It makes us think we are senior devotees. We don't have to go for Srimad Bhagavatam class, or I will hear only 5 minutes. That's enough for me, because other parts are, however, I have heard. So if we neglect, Krishna takes away our taste for him. So if we, while doing the japa, if we don't do diligently the japa, then what happens? Inattentive chanting. Inattentive chanting leads to material desires. Sometimes you may commit, offenses also. So because the nature of the world is like that, coming down, full is towards down. So, but this doing japa, hearing Srimad Bhagavatam takes us up. How much we are absorbed, how much here we are hearing, we are going up. So that's why Srila Prabhupada used to tell, don't try to see through the eyes. Try to see through ears. So we are seeing the world through Shastra Chakshu. Shastra Chakshu. So that is the reason the devotees see the world not like the mundane people see the world. Devotees see the world through Shastra Chakshu. So Premanjana Churita Bhakti Vilochanena. So the eyes of the devotees are anointed with love of God. So they see the world in a different way. So that is the reason, if we go back, what happens? If we go back, in order to come to the same stage, you have to put double effort or triple effort. Say same, this one. So Srila Prabhupada used to give one, example. That is, one young boy is there, and one calf is there. Hmm. So he is lifting that calf easily. He can lift. Hmm. And every day he is lifting the calf. The calf is growing naturally. Huh? The young boy is also growing. His strength is also growing, and he is lifting every day. So when the calf is grown to little bigger size, he can easily lift it because every day he is lifting. But the same young boy, hmm, he is lifted today, and he didn't lift for 2 months or 3 months. Then what happens? He has grown, calf has grown, but he has not practiced, so he can't lift even the calf also. So that is how the it is applied. So because the nature of the world is like that. So uh, we have to understand the greatest treasure I have, is to come in the association of devotees and hear and chant about the glories of the Lord. That is the highest treasure. Hmm. So that treasure we have to keep. So that is the reason here Narada Muni is telling, when he was listening attentively, the taste for hearing this personality, so about the supreme personality of Godhead, increased. So taste is actually, it is ado shraddha tata sadhu sangha tata bhajana kriya tata anartha nivritti, tata nishta tata ruchi asakti bhava prema. So ruchi, until we get the ruchi in sadhana bhakti, we will be struggling. So that struggle will be there. But when we sincerely do the Nityam Bhagavata Sevaya, sincerely trying to develop this desire to hear about Srimad Bhagavatam, sincerely trying to serve devotees, other devotees, and pure devotees, if possible, whenever we get the chance. Mm, Like Maharaj came few days back, we all got opportunity to some serve in a small way. But that is the real treasure, when we serve Mahabhagavats or the pure devotees, the gateway to spiritual world, that will be open, wide open. So Nityam Bhagavata Sevaya. Mm. So this is very, very important. So Anartha Nivritti stage, it's very big stage. But how much big it will be depends on us. How much we can contract it, that is depending on our tivrata of practicing devotional service. Um, so if one is too much having laulyam to practice devotional service, that will be this anartha nivritti. If it is this big, may shrink based on the laulyam we have. And after anartha nivritti, nishta, ruchi, after that it's faster. So this anartha nivritti, how much we want to shrink, how much tivra icha we have, how much laulyam we have to hear Srimad Bhagavatam, to chant attentively, how much with intensity I'm chanting to and crying out for Krishna. Just thinking that I'm completely helpless. 24 hours I'm completely helpless. In this mood, when we are chanting, then this the process we can advance very fast in devotional life. See, parallelly, we are chanting in with intensity, hearing Srimad Bhagavatam with the absorption. And apart from that, if we get the chance to serve pure devotees, like we got chance to serve Maharaj or some senior devotees, Siksha Gurus, we get the chance, then the process is very, very fast. So this advantage we have to take in our life, and make our life successful. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare. ग्रंथराज श्रीमद् भागवतम की जय, शीला प्रभुपाद की जय. Any questions, comments, corrections, or some? Yeah. So how to maintain that laulyam? So it comes gradually. So first, basically, what is anartha? We have to understand. See, anartha is we are holding on to something which is not which is not having any artha, means meaning. Artha means meaning. In one more meaning of the word artha is meaning. So anartha means meaningless. We are holding on to something which is meaningless. In the other words, you know, uh, which is not having real substance in it. See, eternal soul is pure. Nitya Siddha Krishna Prema Sadhya Kabunai, Shravanadi Shuddha Chitte Karaya Uday. We are souls. But currently, due to our conditionings in so many lifetimes, we have been associating with the matters, the jada vastus. So our natural tendency is to get attracted to the matter, and getting, in other words, we are getting attached to the things which are meaningless or anartha. That is called real anartha. So when we come in the association of devotees, especially pure devotees, so that utsaha naturally increases. Say, suppose you have gone to Mayapur. So what happens in Mayapur or Vrindavan? 1 month you are fully charged. So that battery, that's what the nature of the word is. The battery is getting discharged. Yeah, continuously we have to charge, and charging depends on, if you have some old charger use, it used to take 4 hours to charge, and some chargers you can charge within 1 hour. So that way, but charging has to happen. So when you that's what in the class also we discussed. When you are associating with the kanishta bhaktas, that charging may be little bit slower. But when we are associating with pure devotees, the charging, that one thing is faster and its intensity is also more. That's why going to dham is one thing, but main thing what we are getting from the dham is basically association of pure devotees, senior devotees. That's why we are getting surcharged so much. So that utsaha comes when we are associating with devotees who are having enthusiasm. Naturally, it's infectious. So when we see a devotee who is enthusiastic, naturally we become enthusiastic. We have to associate with such person. So if you are continuously associating with pure devotees who is completely pure and is free from all the anarthas, you are continually associating with him. Your anarthas, you are giving up. Now we are only holding to anarthas. Anartha nivritti can be shrink means that's the meaning. Now we are holding to anarthas. We will only we naturally we give it up, because vishaya vinivartante niraharasya dehina rasovarjam rasopyasya param drishtva nivartate. When we get the higher taste, we can leave the lower taste. When we are associating with pure devotees, since they have higher taste, when we associate with them, naturally we start developing those higher tastes. When we get the higher taste, then what happens? Then you love to come to Mangalarti. You love to attend Srimad Bhagavatam, because it's nectar. It's really nectar. Srimad Bhagavatam is like Amrita, the Dava Samyutam. It's Rasamalayam. It's really nectar. But it is because of our conditioning, we are finding like that. It's like a jaundice. Prabhuji might be knowing, doctor. Jaundice. Give him sugar, what happened? Sugar cane juice. It's bitter for him. But actually, is it the problem of sugar cane juice or that patient? It's the problem of the patient, not the sugar cane juice. Sugar cane juice is sweet only. Like that, it's mentioned here only. See, it is big in the purport. It's attractive not only on his personal features but also his transcendental activities. It is so because absolute is absolute by his name, form, pastimes, encourage paraphernalia. Krishna's, whatever related to Krishna's, everything is all attractive because it's not different from him. So holy name is also all attractive. But we are chanting, we are not getting it. It's no problem of the holy name or this process or Srimad Bhagavatam. It's a problem that we are having this bhavaroga, no? We are having the bhavaroga. So when we are having the bhavaroga, we can't taste the sugarcane juice. So naturally, we feel burdened or it's difficult for us. But the cure is what? You keep on drinking the sugarcane juice, and the jaundice person will get cured, and he can start tasting the real sweetness of that sugarcane juice. And how much strictly he follows the diet and other prescriptions given by doctors, that much fast he will get cured. The problem is, on one side we are taking medicines. And, sometimes we are not following diet, means as prescribed by the doctor. Medicines also we are not taking properly. Then it may take a bit longer for the disease to get cured. So Srila Prabhupada has given the process. We follow strictly, and in the initial phase, it's like troublesome, no utsaha. Continuously do it. Come to the association of devotees who are having that enthusiasm. Higher senior devotees, Shiksha Gurus, and pure devotees. Especially this is the key. So you also start getting that enthusiasm. And then naturally, over the period of time, you start developing the taste. That is the even key here. See, association, and by the mercy of those great Vedantists, he could hear, Narada Muni could hear the attractive activities. And thus, listening attentively, my taste for hearing of personality of Godhead increased every step. He's telling step. It doesn't mean that I told you today and tomorrow you are going to get full taste and jumping in the Mangalarti. Not that way. So it is step. It is the process. But that process, some process is there. That process is say suppose from here to Delhi you have to go. How many this one Prabhuji from he knows. If you are going to Delhi, you can go by Jatka Gadi, you can go by car, say Alto 800 car. You can go by Mercedes Benz car. You can go super fast train. Then you can go by flight. So now you have the choice in which you want to go. If you go by flight, you will reach Delhi only 1 hour, 2 hours. If you go by Mercedes Benz train, super fast train, maybe it's maybe faster. So like we have in foreign countries, super fast trains, 250, 300 kilometers per hour. Maybe in 6 hours or 8 hours. Then Mercedes Benz car may take 14 hours. Alto 800 car may take 24 hours. And Jatka Gadi, how much time it takes? So we have the option. We are going towards Delhi only. All the devotees are, they are heading back home, back to God at Goloka Vrindavan. But how we want to go, whether I want to go in Jatka Gadi or I want to go in flight, that free will is there. That I have to decide. Whether I want to take a Mercedes Benz car or Jatka Gadi or flight. So that decision we have to take. So enthusiasm comes by associating with the devotees or having enthusiasm. Hare Krishna. Yes, shall we close? Grantra Srimad Bhagavatam ki jai. Srila Prabhupada ki jai. Jai Gaur Premanande. Hari Hari Bo. Thank you very much. Hare Krishna.